applause for these two people for turning up. Thank you very much. Right, you've been a lovely audience so far. Let's just keep that going. We've got another wonderful act for you before we have a break, and then you can get a load of beers. So it's going to be perfect. All that happens, I get to 3 again. You make a load of noise. You make them feel welcome. 1, 2, 3, make some noise! On stage, Michael Fracken, everybody!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, are we excited about the Thursday night? Yay! I'm buzzing to be here. I got an Uber earlier today, right? And when I got in the Uber, the driver turned to me and went, "Do you know what, mate? I almost didn't accept this ride based on your score." I thought, fucking hell, what's going on here? Got my phone out, got the app up, checked my score. 3.68. When did this happen? Turns out in the last month, I received 3 1-star ratings from drivers. And when they leave you a score that low, they have to leave a comment as to why. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you what my comment said, and you guys try to guess how sober I was for any of these trips. Comment number 1, he kept challenging me to a rap battle. Comment number 2, he kept calling me a pussy because I wouldn't race other Uber drivers. And comment number 3, he tried to do a runner from a prepaid taxi. That's the sort of guy I am, apparently. I don't know what you guys have been up to today. Me personally, I went to go visit my grandmother for lunch. She's 92 years old and she lives alone, which meant that during lockdown, me and my family were quite concerned about her. So for company, we decided to get our 92-year-old grandmother Netflix. Now, a little tip for anyone who's thinking again, anyone that age Netflix, don't. They can't handle it. Or at least mine couldn't. On day 1 of having Netflix, my grandmother accidentally clicked on Lord of the Rings and didn't want to turn it off again in case Netflix thought she's been a bit of a hassle. So she watched the entire Fellowship of the Ring, and then when it finished, had 5 seconds to decide what she was going to do before the next film started. Long story short, she spent 9 hours watching Lord of the Rings out of politeness to her own fucking television. She's a character. She said to me today, she said, "Mike, guess what? I've booked a trip." I said, "Oh, very exciting. Where are you going?" She said, "I am going to a ballroom dancing convention in the Middle East." And I went, "What? Where in the Middle East is holding a ballroom dancing convention?" And she said, "Leicester." Turns out she meant the Midlands. And I like to imagine that during her 92 years on Earth, every time the Middle East has been mentioned, she thought they were talking about the Midlands. She'll be watching the news and the newscaster will say something like, "Today in the Middle East, there's been mass destruction, rioting and chaos." And my grandmother's sitting there going, "Fuck me, it's kicking off in Dudley, isn't it?" And it's a pleasure to be here. Let me introduce myself. My name is Michael and I'm a single man, ladies and gentlemen, like all responsible single people. The other day I went to the STD clinic. Give me a cheer if you've been. All right. Good for you guys. So to the rest of the liars in the room, the STD clinic's a bit of a weird place. When you get in there, a nurse will invite you into her office and ask a bunch of embarrassing and personal questions. Question 1, "Mike, when was the last time you had sex?" I said, 3 days ago. She said, "Did that include oral sex?" And I went, "You're fucking right, I did." And I could tell she wasn't amused by my answer. 1, by her stern face. And 2, by how long it took her to return my high five. Now, the last question they ask you in this sort of place, she went, Mike, have you ever had sex with someone from outside of Europe? I said, yes. She went, oh, okay. What country were they from? I said, Britain. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my cleverest joke. No, I'm very excited to be. I don't want to brag too much, but I was on a podcast recently. Oh yes, the host of the podcast went, Mike, if you found a magic lamp and you rubbed it and a genie came out and gave you 3 wishes. 2 are for you and 1 is for the rest of the world. What would you wish for? 2 for me, that's easy. Number 1, I want to be rich. And number 2, I want me and my loved ones to live long, happy, healthy lives. But then I thought, what about wish number 3? The wish for the world. Do I eliminate poverty? Cure all disease? World peace? And I thought, no. I know what this world needs more than anything right now. And that is an episode of Celebrity Gogglebox where the royal family watched that interview Harry and Meghan gave. I'd watch the shit out of that with you guys. And the thing is, I watched the interview and I thought the maddest part of it was when Prince Harry said that he doesn't watch The Crown. Fuck off. If Netflix made a show about me and my family, I'd tune in just to see who they cast as me. Because in my head, Tom Hardy's the obvious choice. But I think in reality, they just asked Ricky Gervais. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a single man, ladies and gentlemen. Last year, I went on holiday, and I hope no one in this room ever goes on this kind of a holiday. I went on a holiday with my ex-girlfriend to save the relationship. Oh, that's as fun as it sounds. Right? It was an all-inclusive holiday. Eat as much as you want, drink as much as you want, right? We fell out immediately. Right? I came back from the bar. She went, Mike, are you taking the piss? You're drinking far too much, far too often, and if I'm being honest, you're kind of ruining the holiday. I was so shocked, so surprised, where's this come from, that I just dropped my tray of tequila shots. And if I'm being honest, it ruined breakfast. But on the last day of the holiday, we went to the beach. We ran in the sea, started splashing each other, frolicking, like the people in the holiday adverts. And out of nowhere, she got stung on the leg by a jellyfish. She freaks out, babe, a jellyfish just stung me in the leg. Quick, piss on it. Piss on it. In hindsight, turns out she meant on the leg. So I look pretty stupid chasing a jellyfish with my cock out for 5 minutes. Trying to piss on it in some weird revenge act. Now, some of you knew, obviously she meant the leg. But in my defence, I had a 50-50 shot at what she meant. And in my personal experience, rarely is pissing on your girlfriend the correct answer in how best to diffuse a situation. Now, I like to travel. Recently, I went to Austria. Has anyone been to Austria before?
Yeah.
Who said yeah? Put your hand up. You, right? Where'd you go, mate?
Ischgl.
Say again?
Ischgl.
Is that like a skiing place?
Ski resort, yeah. Ski resort.
Ah, fair enough. Right. You look more intelligent than me, so you probably didn't think this before you went there. I've never been to Austria before. I assumed that everybody in Austria would sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Turns out they don't. And I was gutted. I wanted to hear that voice in everyday situations. I wanted to go to like a Primark, and the person who does the announcement that says the shop's about to shut, I wanted that to be an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. I wanted to get in there and all I hear is bing bong. This is a customer announcement. The time is 5:45. Get out! Why are you here? You need to leave. Get to the checkout. You will be back. Now, last year was a big year for me, ladies and gentlemen. Last year I turned 35. Oh yes, and on my 35th birthday, Facebook sent me a notification. It went, "Hey Mike, here's something you put on Facebook when you were 19. So I thought, right, let's see what this guy has to say for himself. 19-year-old me had written a list. Things I want to accomplish by the time I'm in my 30s. So I thought, right, let's see how close I came to accomplishing 19-year-old me's dreams. First thing you put, own my own house. Oh, bless him. Second thing you put, have a job that pays at least 100 grand a year. Not with the grades he got in school. This is the same guy who thought it was funny that his GCSE results spelled out the word fudge. This is the same guy in his first day of work experience at a builder's site spent an hour and a half trying to find a fallopian tube. This is the same guy during sex education at school when the teacher said, "Does anyone know what a cervix is?" Put his hand up and said, "Is that what Jesus died on?" He wasn't a bright kid. So to celebrate turning 35, ladies and gentlemen, I went on holiday with my mum. Me and my mum went to Spain for 2 weeks. About 9 days in, my mum started getting cocky. She wanted to order her food in Spanish. We were in Benidorm. No fucking need for it. She said, "Mike, how would you order a chicken sandwich in Spanish?" Now, for those of you who don't speak Spanish in the room, the Spanish for chicken is pollo. And the Spanish for penis is polla. And ladies and gentlemen, I saw an opportunity to stitch my mum right up. The waiter came over, said, "What would you like to eat?" And with all the confidence in the world, my mum turns to him and says, "Hola. Uno polla sandwich, por favor." The waiter started laughing. He looks at me. I'm pissing myself. And out of nowhere, my mum just goes, "Grande!" And do you know what? Pedro's been a pretty good stepdad so far. Ladies and gentlemen, you can find me on social media at Michael Franklin Comedy on Instagram. My name's Michael. Thank you very much.